Hello and welcome to Rando Tech Info. So today we're talking about the POCO X3 NFC. This phone's been getting a lot of pub around the interwebs as of late for both its price and its impressive spec sheet for that price. This phone has a 6.6-inch HD Plus display running at 120 Hz. This phone has a 5,160 mAh battery with 33-watt charging, a quad camera setup, a 20 megapixel front-facing selfie camera, the Snapdragon 732G processor, 6 gigs of RAM, high-quality dual speakers, SIM card expansion, splash resistance, and a headphone jack. Now, with a phone spec'd out like this, you'd normally expect to pay probably somewhere around $350 or $400. But this phone is being offered for 199 euros. At least that's the early bird special, and we'll talk more about that in a minute. But 199 euros, which comes out to be close to about $230 in USD, is a really good value proposition for a phone like this. But that's not actually the price you're probably going to wind up paying. As I mentioned, that was the early bird special for this device. Now, once that's over, and it might actually be over already as I'm recording this video, the price is actually 230 euros, so it's a little bit more. Also, to get down to that price point, a few corners did have to be cut. Not bad corners, but just some things that you probably need to know about. The screen is an LCD display, not an OLED display. 2 of the 4 cameras on the quad camera system are 2 megapixel lenses, one a macro and one a depth sensor. The 230 euro base model only has 64 gigs of storage, only 44 of which are actually usable. You can upgrade to 128 gigs of storage, but that will set you back 270 euros. There's no optical stabilization. The camera sensors are Sony mid-range camera sensors, not flagship sensors. There's no wireless charging. It's only splash resistant, so no IP68 rating here, and there's no 5G. Now, most of these things are forgivable considering the price point of this product, but there is one more thing about this phone that has actually garnered quite a bit of controversy, and that is that there are ads baked into the operating system of this device. So when you're installing apps or moving around the UI, you will occasionally get an ad. And I say occasionally. Some people act like these ads are prolific and that they're popping up all the time, and that is an absolute deal breaker for this device. Other people are saying that, yeah, there's an ad or two every once in a rare while, and it's really not a big deal. So it really depends on who you believe. But if you are actually really interested in getting this phone, I would pull up some hands-on reviews on the tubes. They're all over the place, and just see if that's really going to be a bother to you. I think it would really annoy me if I got ads in the middle of using my phone. But hey, if it allowed me to buy a phone that was much better than a phone I could normally afford, maybe I'd be willing to put up with it. A couple last things you need to know about this device. It is not being sold in the US, and there are no plans to bring it to the US. So to bring it over here, you will have to use a third-party seller. And if you do decide to do that, make sure you use somebody who is reputable, and remember to keep in mind, when you bring a phone over here from somewhere else, it will usually void the warranty. So should you even bother to bring this phone over here? As I mentioned before, there's no 5G on this device, so you're only really working with 4G. And I'm not talking about 3G in my Will It Work videos lately, because a lot of the carriers are talking about dropping 3G in the near future. So that's not really a viable option for reliable coverage right now here in the US. So we're just going to be focusing on 4G with this device. And if you're on Verizon, it only uses 3 out of 5 of Verizon's 4G bands. And you might be thinking to yourself, well, that's not terrible, but it doesn't use band 13, which is Verizon's primary frequency band, so I don't think Verizon is going to work very well. AT&T only uses 3 out of 9 of this phone's frequency bands and none of their primary frequency bands, so you're probably not going to get very good cell service with AT&T either. As far as T-Mobile is concerned, it uses 3 out of 6 of their frequency bands, but it does use 2 out of 3 of their primary frequency bands. So they're probably your best bet. If you really want to bring this phone over here and give it a shot, your best bet is going to be on T-Mobile. But even with T-Mobile, I don't know that your cell reception is going to be particularly great. Like I said, it only uses 3 out of 6 of their total frequency bands, and it is missing 1 of their primary frequency bands. So while T-Mobile might get you some decent service depending on where you live, it is certainly far from guaranteed. So at the end of the day, unfortunately, as is the case with a lot of good value phones that are sold in other parts of the world, this phone's probably not going to work particularly well here. If you do decide to roll the dice and bring it over here, let us know down in the comments. Tell us who your carrier is and where you live to help other people make more informed decisions about this product. Look, it is only about $230, so if you did want to roll the dice and bring it over here and give it a shot, that wouldn't necessarily be the worst idea in the world. Just know though that there's a very good chance that you won't get very good service outside your home and off the Wi-Fi. Anyway, that's all the useful information I have for today. As always, I hope you found this video useful. Thanks for watching, and until next time, this is Rando Tech Info, signing out.